one of the hummingbird moths. This one's a little confused. Keeps running into stuff. Yeah, they like to flap their wings. Very sleek. Put them on a primrose. Maybe that'll settle them down. I'll do this is like a teaspoon, a nice big one. Nice big teaspoon. That's some lard. Got some chocolate black cream custard going. I'm gonna give this a whoops, that's a lot. Well, I'm gonna call that a little bit of flour. That's a little bit of flour plus a lot more. Give it a little bit of a stir. So this would be probably easier to do over a wood fire, but it's like, why bother? This right here is going to be some salty chicken. Let's get it worked in there good. Okay. And that's going to be the gravy for the chicken. Alright, my can of chicken. And it comes with all that nice chicken broth in there. So I'm just going to pour out that broth. Get it worked in. To this flour. So it should thicken up. You would want it to boil. And it will boil. Or get close to it, you know, once I put this lid on. You know, maybe take an hour or something for it to get to full boil. And then this will turn into a nice thick gravy. So this is going to be some salty chicken. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm liking that. All the lards are incorporated. Give it the chicken. There's 1 teaspoon. About a teaspoon and a half. It's not going to be that much. So this is an ingredient in a pita. This is going to be a sweet, sour, salty, sweet, and sour pita. This is the salt contingent of that. Give it just a tiny bit of pepper. I would have liked more salt. That was maybe about a teaspoon and a half. I probably wanted maybe 2.5 teaspoons to make this really salty, you know, way too salty. I want this too salty to taste good on its own, but when combined with all the other non-salty things, it'll balance out, you know, inside the pita, you know. So, you know, each bite of the pita will be beautiful. I have this little pocket of salty chicken, and then a little pocket of tart sauerkraut, a little pocket of sweet raisins. I'm just gonna give this a chopping and a stirring. And I'm just gonna give it another teaspoon of salt. While I'm at it, now's the time for it. Let it get incorporated into all the chicken and gravy. Final stir. Okay. Looking good. Give it the lid. So having it open like this has really killed the temperature, but it should build back up pretty quick. There's another 2 hours of good sunlight, so that's plenty of time to finish that stuff. Sun-dried raisins, looking good, and granulated sugar. It's low calories, only 30 calories per serving. Sugar has a bad rap. It's really not all that bad. It's just the quantities that manufacturers use it in, you know. So this is a little over, that's the 1 cup mark right there. This is another pint jar. It's like a little over a cup of the raisins. I'm gonna give it, so the raisins are sweet, but I want to make it extra sweet, so I'm gonna give it 2 spoons of sugar. So I think that's, you know, like 1 serving, 2 servings, you know, it's about 60 calories of sugar for some extra sweetness. And then I'm going to top it off with some, this is store-bought water. So the thought here, there's probably some pectin in the raisins. Grapes have a decent amount of pectin, which is why you use it to make jelly, you know. But basically I want to rehydrate these and rehydrate them with some sweeter fluids, make them extra sweet. So something and something. Use as an ingredient in my pitas. I'm going to shake this up and pop it in the oven. So 1 onion diced. This is a can of sauerkraut. I'm not sure if it's all gonna fit. You just look at that and it doesn't look good. So I'm gonna put, you know, that's half of the onion right there. I'm gonna put half the sauerkraut in there. And I'll do this in a separate jar. And it looks like it would have fit in 1 jar, but too late now. So I split up the juice the sauerkraut juice between them. It's still not covered. This is some caraway seed. It's pretty old, you know, it's really not as potent now as it was before. I really don't think this needs it, but it's kind of normal to put caraway in your sauerkraut. Right now it's just kind of a mild, earthy licorice flavor to it. So I was going to put it in one, you know, since I went ahead and split it up. But the point of this, so this is an ingredient right here for pitas and other things, you know. And the point of this ingredient is for it to be sour, you know. And sauerkraut is sour. Onion, it'll become sour, you know, but I want to make sure it's sour, so I'm going to give it a little distilled white vinegar just to give it a little extra sour kick. Kind of make sure it's covering most of it. That looks good. Maybe, I don't know, a tablespoon. You know, a tablespoon of vinegar to 1 can of sauerkraut and 1 onion really isn't all that much, you know. So I'm just going to shake these up. I'm not going to cook these. I'm just going to let these sit out, you know, at room temperature. That's how I like to do it. And watch them ferment. You know, they'll start bubbling in a few days. But I'll eat them within a week or so it won't be bad. Nice big fly. I'm not sure, some kind of a, you know, large variety of a horsefly. Kind of see just how big it is. That's like 3/4 of an inch long. It's massive. So what happened here? They fly around and then they see the reflection and they think that the, you know, the roof of the shed or this glass, you know, or whatever is the sky. So they do a dive bomb, you know, thinking that that's up, you know. So this guy, that fly, dive bombed the glass, and you know, he's just probably, you know, upside down, spinning around, trying to turn around, you know. They have, because they're trying to fly down because they think that's up, you know, spinning around until he finally got cooked, you know. Anyways, chicken is looking good. I gave it a stirring, put in a pita, give it a warming. The raisins are juicier, good enough. Half a pita. This is a ginger pepper pita. Gave it more water, less oil than usual, but otherwise standard. 3 cups flour, 1 packet yeast, 3 spoons sugar, 2 spoons salt, and then kind of maybe 1.5 tablespoons oil, you know, and then enough water to make it so sticky I had to flour my hands. And then some ginger and pepper. Very nice. Did the outside with cornmeal, you know. Floured my hands with cornmeal. Cut back on the oils a little. Half pita. Sweet grapes. Salty chicken. And sour kraut onions with vinegar. So this is kind of sweet and sour combo and salt and vinegar combo, you know, so kind of the 3 of these. And it used to be normal to put fruit in your meat, you know. It's not so popular these days, but it's actually really good. So what do you call it? Yeah, I put all that, a little too much flour in this chicken. So the gravy is just, this is a lot thicker than, I was thinking something a little bit runnier, but I accidentally dumped too much flour in there. But turned out really good. Perfect amount of salt. Way too salty to eat, just by itself. But with this combo, it should be beautiful. Salty chicken, sweet grape, tart, sour sauerkraut. Sour, sweet, salty. The chicken, triple S chicken pita. 1-pack chicken ramen with the tail end of the chicken and salty chicken. A good spoon of the sauerkraut. Sauerkraut without the caraway was better. This is the sauerkraut onion without caraway. I already finished the caraway. And the last of the sweet grapes. Very nice. I actually like this more than the pita.